the idea that you've kind of lost free will. So yeah, I went off a bit there, but that's the general mood.
On the payphone, spend my money on you, babe.
I was toying with this idea of like ego, but mixed with a lot of story of like big data and us being sort of like tracked and algorithms kind of like and fake news. Just like that whole scene of people being completely misled through the internet. And then also just, I guess like the demise of democracy in a sense. Thinking about the idea of being tracked, whether you care about it or not, but what could it mean in the future? Like, if you think about your body as like a series of biological algorithms, that if the digital ones that we've created ourselves are able to evolve at a faster rate, to get to a point where they're like absolutely more efficient than biological ones, like the idea that you've kind of lost free will. So yeah, I went off a bit there, but that's the general mood. In terms of production and songwriting, I wrote it with my longtime friend Thor Rixon. We started writing it in January. Luckily at the time, a good friend of ours, Dacleas, he goes by, he plays with Alice Phoebe. Thor and I just started writing the track, and I think he had got the beat down. I started writing some sort of vocal ideas, early like stage lyrics. Dacleas popped over, and just the bass line was history after that. Once we had an idea of the song structure, it was try and fill it out a bit, so that's when we kind of attacked the keys. I was literally just trying to find chords on the keys that would just add that sort of slightly more spy jazzy espionage sort of smoke and mirrors kind of feel. So we ended up coming up with just some pretty weird, gnarly chords. In terms of performance, it was Thor on the beat and general production on guitar and on synths. Then it was myself on vocals, keys, sax. And then just had Aviwe Sikele, who also plays guitar with me and does backing vocals. Him and Pure and Manu Grace all did backing vocals. Elu Eboka, who's kind of been the overall producer, studio engineer, he mixed the track, and then Ross Fink did the mastering. Often the way I sort of approach writing lyrics is to sort of just let myself kind of mumble stuff and just let stream of consciousness, whatever's happening, just come out. And I landed something I remember being tell me what you know about a payphone booth. And then as soon as I said payphone booth, I thought of Phone Booth, which is a movie with Colin Farrell in it. I knew that payphone was a fairly outdated concept, but I'd already had the lyric, and then the Colin Farrell thing was well, at the time I was it's too good to let go. And then I enjoyed playing with the idea of on one level it being sort of a classic kind of superficial soul R&B love song, where it's expressing your love for this person on the other end of the phone and saying spending my money on you. It's also sort of the system that you're spending your money on. We're still out here buying data, airtime. So you could be singing to this person, sort of a love interest, but at the same time, it's kind of this lament of, I guess, just being tracked and quite effectively manipulated. And how scary that can be if you just continue to not think about it or be oblivious to it.